Well, hi, Michael. So the objective report, which has a slightly wavy history, because last year there was quite a big discrepancy between the objective and the final turnout. What were the two numbers?
So the last year's objective was 2.1 billion.
Right.
And
okay.
then I think we're about 188, 189 now.
Okay. So that was a good. Is that 10%? Yeah, 10% down on 10% overestimate in terms of the objective.
Yeah.
And what's the number this year?
So this number that's just come out is 1.8.
Okay.
So pretty low compared to most people's expectations.
Yeah. So last year we had an actual turnout of 1.89, and they've marketed that successfully. The carryover is nothing to worry about. It's
quite comfortable.
Very comfortable. And this year they've got an estimate of 180.
Yeah. And
I'm sure that they will say, well, if last year it was 10% down, this one could be 10% down. It could be 165.
Well, yeah. So that's one way of looking at it.
Well, this market has existed in the minds of the growers for the last 3 years, really.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't they spin it further?
Yeah, well, we saw the market had kind of started drifting a bit, probably since the INC, really. Sort of 5, 6 weeks ago now. It slowly was coming down.
Yeah.
And everyone, or most people, thought it was going to be 85 to 90 plus. So this 180 was a bit of a shock.
Yeah.
And overnight the prices jumped 20 cents with
20 cents,
pretty much zero trading. It's just
So when you talk about the price, Michael, you're talking about the standard fives.
Standard fives, is sort of the one that generally
in
is
the industry almond.
Yeah. But has gone back up to almost where we were at the peak.
So basically this is a very strong figure.
Yeah.
There's been a knee-jerk increase in offers of around about 20 cents.
Yeah.
On the other hand, poor old demand is beaten up.
Well,
it hasn't had its little say yet.
No, that's the thing. It's the supply has been on. The focus has been on supply for, well, at least a year, I think.
Yeah.
And there's been very little focus on what demand is doing. So we have to see what happens really in terms of demand. On the one hand, people have been buying hand to mouth for such a long time now that you think, well, how can they have any cover forward? I don't think there's a lot of cover forward.
Yeah.
Then you could also argue, well, maybe they don't need as much as they do last year because prices are at least $1 a pound more than they were.
Well, we've lived in this very short event world where people are just continually just topping up and not really taking big positions.
Yeah.
I remember seeing I think it was a Derco report or some Derco advice that they should be 70-80% sold by the first week of December.
Right.
And of course we'll have the buying now for Diwali. I think the Chinese demand is already very badly.
It's definitely
gone
down.
Russian demand, of course, doesn't exist, and the Indian in-shell buyers, the buyers of American in-shell, will perhaps be the first persons to give their feedback.
Yeah.
And the second, I guess, will be the marzipan manufacturers.
The European market.
Yeah.
So we really have to see how that happens, and unless there's a lot of rain this winter, a lot of rain, we have to see shipments dramatically fall off, and the crop coming in better than 180. Then we have to
well, if the gross cost is, let's say, $1.50, I don't know whether that's reasonable or not. They'll have made immense amount of money over the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And they're completely capable of carrying this entire crop, I should imagine.
Yeah, I don't think they're particularly bothered if demand is quiet for 2 or 3 weeks.
No, I don't think
longer.
so.
I don't see how.
They'll be out looking at the fields, wondering when to send the tractors in.
Yeah.
And where to put all this stuff.
Yeah. Which will be in about 2-3 weeks. They'll start shaking.
Yeah, early crop.
Yeah.
which again you'd have thought would reduce the price, but no, they don't need the money.
No.
So they're just going to put it all in a barn.
Yeah, and this number is a bit of a shock, so I think firm prices going forward.
Yeah. Go with the flow.
Yeah.